Hey guys, listen up.
This is the SEC Insider Hit, powered by Miss Kelly Furniture, Mississippi's number one sleep store.
Oh, goodness. Rumors abound. You love them, too. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Not like soggy turkey, but they're tasty. I don't know what tiers are going to be coming out Thursday night, but they'll either be Hail State or Ole Miss. Good morning. Welcome in. SEC Insider Hit this morning. It's brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show. Our Golden Egg coverage this week is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. 6 o'clock, Vaught Hemingway, Oxford, Ole Miss will host Mississippi State. Lane living right. His first year, he pulled the game at home. So his first 2 or 3 years, the game is in Oxford, Mississippi. And that's an ESPN kick. We'll also have NFL football that day. Blake's Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go.
Is that a 3:25?
I believe something around there. It's always Detroit in the morning, Dallas in the midday, and then they fill the third spot with trash at the end. Just kidding. It's the Vikings in the third hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Vikings, who are 8-2 but have a negative point differential on the season.
Bills Lions is the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game at 11:30.
Yep.
Going into some dressing and some turkey with some pop on it, not soggy.
Ooh, yeah.
Soggy ham also down vote.
Ham or turkey or both on Thanksgiving. Not Christmas, because that's different.
Oh.
There's different food rules for each holiday.
Okay, different.
People who think that they're the same holiday are sadly mistaken when it comes to the culinary arts.
Got it. Okay. So which one do I prefer?
If you could only have one for Thanksgiving, which one would you go? Ham or turkey?
Okay.
Assuming both are good.
I don't crave either one necessarily. I mean, I'm okay with doing a beef tenderloin. I'm okay with. I mean, we've done any number of things.
Yeah.
But if you're making me pick, and I'm assuming that both are cooked well.
Correct. They're both cooked to a good quality that you like.
All
yes.
right. I'll go turkey.
Yes,
because
that's the correct answer.
I get 2 options.
Yep, white and dark.
White and dark meat.
Yep, and you get salty skin,
I
or
like
you can
both.
have no skin.
Both.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I just said I like bow.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Everyone should.
Yeah. I hope you like this show.
Res Dog loves Bo.
Res Dog, I think he's going to invite me
Are we getting a Christmas card?
over for Turkey Day in a couple of days.
Nick says you got to do deep fried turkey.
I love that,
dude.
So I was very skeptical until a buddy of mine did it, and I was absolutely blown away. To be honest,
yeah. If someone knows what they're doing, it is fire.
Because somebody like Kendall Collins,
Jeff Jones could do it.
Jones,
yeah, absolutely.
Wally Cummins, Les Pitt, those guys. If they deep fry turkey, it's going to be big baller.
Correct.
So
yeah.
I may have some lard infused pork chops right now in my freezer, so I can go any number of ways as the day unfolds.
Have you done the smoked turkey? Since you like dry turkey, that would be up your alley. Smoked turkey is never soggy,
and it is fabulous.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it.
See, that's my least favorite skin of all the turkey skins. I like the roasted in the oven skin the best. Mm-hmm. Fried skin would be second. Smoked skin would be third.
Well, you're wrong on that. You are. And,
the texture
and I don't want soggy dressing either.
No.
So
I like a good firm dressing where you pour the gravy over it and it can hold that gravy.
Absolutely. Because if you go soggy with the liquid, it's a disaster.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of the best beverages with a late morning Thanksgiving meal is a Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary with the pickled okra.
Oh.
And the bacon.
Do you remember when Nick Fulton of USA Pawn came up here? And
Who is that guy?
He tried to put a whole casino buffet on top of a Bloody Mary.
It's still one of the most legendary performances ever.
You have that picture on your phone, I know.
Yeah.
It was the cup was like 6 inches, and then the toppings was like 8 inches.
I don't know how the styrofoam cup held the Bloody Mary.
No idea. I thought we were going to
shrimp, deer sausage,
okra.
It was insane.
He had the pickled the celery or something. Like he had everything. It was everything.
And you can do like a kosher pickle in there.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Oh, the beans.
Like, from Boar's Head.
He had the green beans.
He did have he did have the pickled green beans,
which are like a clutch.
Are legendary.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to share with us. Tweet at Bo Bounds or tweet at BA Scott 2010 on Twitter on Thanksgiving.
Look at you. Is Kendall listening? Did you hear Blake just throw his Twitter handle out?
That's the first time I've ever done that either.
Wow.
But yes, we need pictures of Thanksgiving feasts, and I think we should pick the best Thanksgiving winner, and we'll give them the best picture that we get, best Thanksgiving food picture we get on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We'll come back Monday, and we'll have a prize pack with some like Jonesy Q rubs and stuff like that. Like
I love it.
Some food stuff for you. Because I love seeing pictures of Thanksgiving food. I think it's awesome to see what everybody does.
I hope Josh will smoke me a turkey. I'll pay.
Oh, on his Gourmet Guru grill, he says.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We're going to have to find an intern that can cook.
Yeah.
We're actually looking for another intern. So if you know of anybody, hit us up on the Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. Real quick, I want to give you the schedule. Somebody asked for it as Blake and I were kind of walking through Thursday. Bills Lions, 11:30 a.m., CBS. Giants Cowboys, 3:30 Fox. And Patriots Vikings, 7:20 on NBC. But you know that the Golden Egg kicks off at 6.
That's right.
On ESPN. So there's your football schedule for the day. That could actually be a lot of fun in the NFL. And then who knows? The Golden Egg may be wild. It started off Ole Miss as about a 5.5-point favorite, and it has been bet down from there. But the original line was about 5.5. I think if they would have lost a close game against Arkansas or won that game, then I think the line would have dropped more at 7.5.
Yes.
But it started at 5.5. Ole Miss as a favorite. And I expect Ole Miss to win the game. I think for Mississippi State to win the game, it's I think a lot more has to happen. The path to victory for Ole Miss is much cleaner and clearer than for Mississippi State. Now, if you want to take total scoring efficiency numbers, Ole Miss is, miles ahead. It's a good way to track success, especially over 4, 6, 8 years, which is, what we've done. Mississippi State could win. I think Ole Miss is going to have to give them a little bit. Maybe not the whole entree, but a good portion of the meal. Ole Miss is going to have to give away.
Yeah.
And, that I think Zach Evans getting healthy is a tremendous boost for Ole Miss and not so good for MSU. Crumedy will have to play out of his mind. Tyrus Wheat will have to be healthy. He limped off the field. You were up 35-0. He was still in the game. I don't know why either. Tyrus Wheat was still in the game on Saturday. There was a running play run to him. He limped off the field. I don't know. He's your best edge guy. If he's anything less than 100%, that'll be a struggle. And then you got Forbes. Those are your 3 best players on defense: Crumedy, Tyrus Wheat, Forbes.
Can you not give up the explosive plays? That's going to be the
between Judkins, Evans, and Dart just on the ground, and they've also had success through the air, especially explosive wise.
See, that's what I'm worried about. If you go look at Mississippi State's defense all year, one thing that they've consistently done almost every game is give up at least 1 or 2 explosive passing plays over the top. And if you go back to the Arkansas game, they missed 3 that they had.
And one other thing that they haven't done, they haven't scored points on the road in SEC contests.
17 a game on the road in the SEC?
That's not going to get it.
Heck no.
Okay. That is, even with as poorly as Ole Miss played at times last Saturday, 17 points is not going to get it Thursday night. Even though the weather could be trending to be a little yucky.
It's not going to be Alabama, Tennessee, but it ain't going to be 17 points wins.
But, I think that you never know. I mean, it could land in the mid-20s at 27, Ole Miss. But the path for Mississippi State is very murky, and Ole Miss is going to have to give you some of the goods. They're going to have to give you some of the lanyap, some of the food, some of the turkey, some of the dressing. at least share the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary. And I don't know if them getting blown out actually works for you. Now, the lane stuff, static and noise, may work for Mississippi State, but also kids have proven that, they can also block that out. I mean, we forget how kind of resilient and 19, 20-year-olds and can operate in their own little world. So Leach and his staff are under the gun, so to speak, back against the wall. They're not going to get let go.
You sure? What if it's ugly? What if in year 3 you're 0-3 in the Egg Bowl and you're not even close?
Lane has tried to absolutely put the foot on the jugular the last 2 years. He has tried to blow Leach and Mississippi State out, and it just hadn't quite worked out, although he's won, and that's all that counts. In year 1, he kept going for it on 4th down and, left some points out there. Last year, he went for – this is how much he respected Leach and Mississippi State. In his first drive, he went for it on, the 25-yard line and didn't get it. Of course, Mississippi State couldn't score a touchdown, and they kicked a field goal. So that told you right there that Lane felt really, 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 really good about the game. He's on his 25-yard line in Davis-Wade and goes for it. So those are some things. And special teams for Mississippi State, it's been an absolute clown show. Ole Miss has a better OC, special teams coordinator, and DC.
It's because his name is Marty Biaggi, and you can't beat that
Marty
name.
Biaggi reminds me of the guy who ran the Union in House of Cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And was giving Kevin Spacey all kinds of what, and eventually Spacey ran circles around him.
Yeah.
But that's who Marty Biaggi reminds me of, someone who runs the teachers union out of D.C. or somewhere up in the Rust Belt that's very union driven. Like the railroad workers or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He feels like he's the mob boss's son.
Right? Well, he gets a kick from the mob to run some kind of big
So I'm saying,
union.
with the last name, Marty Biaggi is Papa Biaggi's youngest boy.
Yeah.
And he's out there running the union for his father.
He finally cut the 2 generations before him had mob ties. He finally got into something I guess you could say was legit.
Yeah.
In taking people's money through the union. And so that's who Marty Biaggi, and he's from Purdue, which is the Rust Belt. And I kind of tie in the unions with both the Rust Belt and the Northeast.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Because this Egg Bowl thing, it's always toxic. It's always chaotic. It's always whatever. But, we're getting more and more interwoven storylines because now the transfer portal, you've got a guy like Malik Heath in Oxford. Going to get a chance to play. Now, this is not in Starkville, so that there would be even maybe more venom in it, so to speak. But he'll play in Oxford against his old team. Do you think that's a factor? Will Kiffin and or Malik himself, be motivated to maybe do a little bit more? And
and I think Kiffin will be motivated to steam
use
him up.
Correct, exactly.
Malik has had a good year, but if he goes 8 catches for 110 and a touchdown, he and Kiffin will get a big kick out of that, and they will let Mississippi State fans know on the Twitters that night the next day.
Here's the other one, too. You know what I saw yesterday as this John Sokoloff story unfolded? And for those of you just joining us, John Sokoloff, WCBI sports director, tweeted out yesterday afternoon that Lane Kiffin is planning to step down Friday following the Egg Bowl and take the job at Auburn. That's what he tweeted out. Hasn't deleted it. Is standing behind it. Is the same guy who broke the Cohen news. Ole Miss fans, it's been a weird reaction. How about this from a big Ole Miss kind of platform that basically said, we're bigger than a coach, we're bigger than NIL, we'll be just fine. It's time to get behind the new guy. Should Ole Miss fans be writing this off as he's gone already? I'm kind of surprised that there's a big portion that have just decided, hey, he's for sure going, and we're just going to write it off already.
I'm getting back and forth on that from my phone.
Yeah.
From people connected to, Ole Miss fans, alums, boosters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just depends on the person. Some are like, he's gone.
Yeah.
They're going to offer him $100-something million. The terms will be longer.
Do you think the 4 years is killing Ole Miss right now?
I think the fact that at Auburn you can win a national. I think we've overthought this. We've thrown out all these different scenarios and
NIL
whys.
and all this.
At the end of the day, Auburn has proven that they can get there and win it and get there again.
And Ole Miss hasn't.
Exactly. If you really want to just
we like to pontificate for the future, but the future's the future. We don't know. 12-team playoffs never existed. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. What we do know is Auburn has done it in the era that we sit in now.
Can I tell you another secret about the Golden Egg game?
Oh, tell me.
That we overthink?
Please tell me.
This shouldn't, surprise anybody, but the overwhelming majority of the time, the better team wins.
Oh? But you got to throw out the records, though.
That's so much nonsense. By the way, it's 15. All right, I want since it moved to campus, it is 15 wins apiece.
Oh. Hello.
15-15. After Billy Brewer's last dominating run over Emory Ballard and Rocky Felker, since 1991, it is 15-15. In those 30 games, Mississippi State has scored 689 points. Ole Miss has scored 660. Who would have ever thought going into 91? After Brewer owned that series, of course, the way that the series got lopsided is because Vaught was like 26-2 or something. But it is 15-15 since 1991. How many of you thought that were, old enough to remember kind of what had happened going into 1991? Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line 601-707-3750. Blake was talking about John Sokoloff's tweet last night at 6:30 that Kiffin would step down Friday to take the Auburn job. He's the sports director of WCBI, and he was one of the ones that broke Cohen to Auburn news. That's what we have. That's the big story along with the big Golden Egg game. Lane's 2-0, and Leach is 0-2. And, boy, I just get that apathy is set in to the Mississippi State, a lot of the Mississippi State fan base, which is kind of crazy because you would almost feel like Leach is going into this game 4-7.
Yeah.
And he's 7-4.
You're still winning more than the majority of your lifetime as a football program. That's the irony.
Yeah.
Mike Leach is winning good enough to be a top 5 coach at your football program ever. And you're still ready to fire him after 3 years.
And if you continue down this road, you're going to need to be really, really careful.
Yep.
Yep. And I don't know what the timeline is for Mississippi State's athletic director.
Do you think Mark Keenum would fire Mike Leach and make a coaching hire?
No.
Okay. Well, then that tells you all you need to know.
Not Dr. Keenum's MO.
That's all you need to know then. If you're telling me that they have to have an AD to hire Mike Leach or to fire Mike Leach and hire a new guy, then until they have an AD, that this question is irrelevant to discuss.
It's a moot point. Yep. I agree with you.
Yep, I'm with you 100%.
I don't see Dr. Keenum ever doing anything like that.
It's interesting you mentioned the move to campus.
That doesn't mean that he's happy.
No, correct.
Please understand that this is two different. That doesn't mean that he's happy because I don't think he is. But
well, no, he's a guy that wants to win.
Dr. Keenum doesn't get into going and doing it. I mean, that's not how he operates. He's going to hire an athletic director to oversee the athletic department.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned the move to campus in 91. The last time a state coach lost 3 in a row was 90, 89, and 88 when Rocky Felker lost 3 in a row to Billy Brewer. That's right.
Leach could be the only guy to survive 3 losses.
Correct. In a row, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we looked at. Yeah, multiple guys have more than 3 losses, but
Emory Ballard lost 3 in a row.
Yep.
83, 84, 85 was let go.
Yep.
Rocky lost 3 in a row. Felker, 88, 89, 90.
Yep.
Since then, 15-15.
Yeah, and the only 3-game stretch for Ole Miss came with a double up on Sherrill and a win against Croom in his first year. So it wasn't 3 in a row for
That's
Sherrill.
right. That's right.
Yeah, so
and the dirty little secret is for one fan base in the state, this was never supposed to be a rivalry.
Correct.
And that's why it's gotten so contentious and more intense and all that. I mean, it's very simple. Having grown up here, especially in Jackson, I went to all those games at Veterans Memorial. When Jackie Sherrill was hired, the fact that we're sitting here today, 15-15, this was not supposed to happen.
No, absolutely not.
It was supposed to be Ole Miss wins 7 out of 10.
Well, look at the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma series.
Okay, that's a good
Bedlam.
one.
Mike Gundy's been there. We just did this math. Mike Gundy's been there forever. He's won 3 times. He's 3-15 or something like that against them.
Well, Michigan had not was like 2-15 against Ohio State.
Yes. Which the irony of that one was, if you go back into the 80s, it was Michigan who had like an 11-year stretch of winning.
Well, the reason why Ohio State let go of John Cooper in the 90s
Couldn't beat him.
is because Michigan, who was going through 3 different coaches, Bo Schembechler stepped down, Mueller got he had a little altercation with a Michigan booster one night, and then,
he Mike priced himself.
Yeah, a little bit. And then they hired what's his name that won the championship in '97. So all of those were Bo's men.
Yeah.
Bo Schembechler. So anyway, that's where we are right now. And Michigan, Ohio State, by the way, and I know some of you you're all locked into Thursday, but after that, you'll get into some other games. That game could impact what happens, SEC.
Playoff-wise,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, Michigan and Ohio State are playing for the Big Ten championship and to punch their ticket to the college football playoff.
And in theory, the loser of that game, I think, is hoping that it's close enough and competitive enough, and then other things happen around the country that you could have what the SEC has been known to do, which is get 2 teams in. And no other conference has done that in one playoff. So it would be USC's trying to spoil that. USC beat UCLA. They're a 1-loss team. They've clinched the Pac-12. If they can win this weekend,
They're trying to come out of nowhere.
if they win the Pac-12, if they don't lose this weekend and they win the Pac-12 title, they will be in the playoff.
Yes.
Because the committee will 1,000% bring in a USC Pac-12 champion with 1 loss. The other team to watch, TCU.
Yeah. And if Ole Miss loses Lane Train, is how high up the board is Sonny Dykes at TCU?
You're talking about a Mike Leach disciple.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, technically, you could argue Lane Kiffin's a Mike Leach disciple with the offense he's running.
Yep. It's just what we've thrown out. He's running a better, more modified version
Yep.
of the air raid.
That's right. Look, Sonny Dykes is an interesting one. It's his first year at TCU. He's doing he's pulling his best Brian Kelly. First year coach, winning the conference. That's what TCU and Sonny Dykes are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly, and that's what people have kind of forgotten about this because they played nobody this weekend. But when they stomp A&M, LSU still has a chance at a backdoor slide at the playoff.
They do.
Because if you win the SEC championship over Georgia, you're in.
If Southern Cal finds their way into this thing,
In Lincoln Riley's first year.
or Brian Kelly
First year.
in his first year, what a statement coming out of LSU and Southern Cal.
I guess coaching isn't hard, Bo.
According to Twitter, it's not. Oh, man. Good morning. Welcome in, Mike Detillier. 8:30 on the Yingling Lager guest line. You're listening Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Ole Miss start off as about a 5.5-point favorite. It's been bet down to about 2.5. And Lane Train, still no answer. Will he stay or will he go? Powered by the Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. I still need to know if Josh is going to cook me a turkey on his Gourmet Guru grill. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Detillier, 8:30.